At 2:03 a.m., my front door unlocked itself from the outside. I know the exact minute because my desk clock had just flipped from 2:02 to 2:03 when I heard the lock turn, one slow click at a time, as if whoever stood outside did not want to scare me. I am Elena Ward, an archive restorer in East London. I repair old paper all day and pretend I am fine all night. When I moved into this apartment, my landlord gave me one brass key and said, "This key only works once on a real door. Choose carefully." I thought he was trying to sound mysterious. I laughed. He did not. That night, I looked through the peephole and saw no hallway. I saw rain on cobblestones under yellow street light. I opened the door a little. The air smelled like wet stone and coal smoke. Not modern London. Older. I should have shut it. I should have called someone. Instead, I stepped through. The moment my shoes touched the street, every modern sound disappeared. No elevator hum. No distant cars. No sirens. Just rain and the rattle of a tram somewhere uphill. A newspaper page on the wall gave me the date, October 12, 1947. I turned and found a wooden door behind me, marked 14. My apartment number. In my bag I had an unprocessed envelope from work, found behind a damaged filing cabinet, Ward, M. I had planned to catalog it tomorrow. A courier boy pointed me toward a woman named Martha Ward on Hovel Street. My grandmother's name was Martha Ward. I climbed 3 flights, knocked, and gave the envelope to a young woman with my eyes and my mother's jawline. She opened it in front of me. The letter was from Daniel, my grandfather. I did not leave by choice. I was detained in hospital after the blast. Meet me Tuesday at St. Jude's Clock at 6. I will wait as long as it takes. She whispered, Tuesday was yesterday. I never received this. In my family, the story had always been that he walked away and abandoned her for months. Their marriage survived, but trust did not. That bitterness flowed into the next generation. Then into mine. I stood in that narrow hallway with rainwater dripping from my coat and felt the weight of 70 years pressing on one delayed envelope. Martha looked at me like she almost recognized me, then said, I'm going now. If he is there, Her voice broke. Thank you. I ran back through rain, back to Marlowe Mews, back to door 14, terrified it would vanish. It did not. I fell into my apartment, onto my own floor, under electric light. My phone showed 2:08 a.m. 5 minutes had passed. At work the next morning, I searched family records I had avoided for years. I found evidence that my grandparents had, in fact, stayed together without long separation after 1947. Joint addresses. Shared tax filings. Notes and margins from both of them. No fairy tale, but no abandonment story either. One missing letter had poisoned 3 generations. That evening I visited my mother's grave and said, I think we inherited pain that was never ours. For days I tried the brass key again. It opened only my normal hallway. Then, 3 nights later, I found a photograph under my door. My grandmother, young and rain-soaked, standing under a church clock with my grandfather, both smiling with relief. On the back, thank you for returning him. I keep that photo beside the brass key now. People think history is made by kings, wars, and governments. Sometimes history is made by one letter arriving late. And sometimes, if someone is willing to carry it across impossible weather, late is still in time. Since that night, my work has changed. I no longer restore documents just to preserve facts. I restore them to return people to each other. When junior staff ask why I am so obsessive about misplaced correspondence, I say this. A missing page can become a missing decade. I now tag every recovered personal letter with a second review flag. I built a checklist for relationship impact records and convinced management to adopt it across our unit. Most people treated it as paperwork. I treated it as prevention. Because somewhere, right now, another family could be living inside a misunderstanding caused by one lost envelope. Sometimes I wake before dawn and look at my door, waiting for the lock to turn again. It never does. Maybe the key's one true door is spent. Maybe that was always the point. Not to travel repeatedly. Not to chase magic. Just to repair one fracture that should have never existed. I still walk past St. Jude's sometimes after work, even though the city around it is all buses, phones, and LED signs now. I stand near the clock and imagine a young woman running through rain, hoping she is not too late. I imagine a young man refusing to leave because love told him to wait. Then I imagine a future granddaughter growing up in a quieter house because those two found each other one wet evening. That granddaughter was my mother. And I was the one who almost never knew. If you ever hear someone say archives are dead things, do not believe them. Archives breathe. They breathe in folded paper, in smudged ink, in names misspelled by tired clerks, in letters routed to the wrong drawer, in records no one thought to save. And once in a rare while, they breathe through you. A brass key. 5 minutes. One real door. That was all I got. It was enough.